Some 21 million people live and work in Chengdu, so best to travel outside of rush hour. But it's not all cars and concrete. You can escape to the side streets too. Take a stroll and grab a snack. Welcome to day 4 of the 2024 Thomas & Uber Cups, and there's a buzz around the hall because China's women are in town, the most successful nation in the competition's history. This is where we are, the Chengdu High-Tech Zone Sports Centre Gymnasium, and we're looking forward to another day of explosive action here. Play once again on 4 courts. It's the penultimate day of group stage action. Quarterfinals Thursday and Friday, the semis on Saturday. Sunday is the big day with both the finals. The 16 competing nations split into 4 groups of 4. We're concentrating on Group A for our match as China take on India, both nations with 100% records so far. Only the top 2 will qualify for the quarterfinals. Thailand and Chinese Taipei lead the way in Group B. No surprises really in Group C either, with Japan and Indonesia at the head of affairs, and it's Korea and Denmark, the top 2 nations in Group D. Both of those countries certain to qualify. So China versus India in the Uber Cup is our focus this morning, and then later we switch to the men. Thomas Cup Group A, China again. That should be a good one against Korea. 5 o'clock local time. Well, superstars pretty much everywhere you look on the China team, both in the singles and the doubles. They're resting Herbing Jiao today. That's the kind of luxury they have, really. They bring in the Olympic champion, Chen Yufei. There you see it, and of course, they have the world #1 doubles pair as well. Chen Qingchen and Zhi Yifan, we'll see them later on, as well as Han Yue and Wang Ziyi in the singles. One of the more muted huddles from Team China, now very, very young Team India. No PV Sindhu, normally their flag bearer, of course. So these youngsters primarily here for experience, but they've won their first 2 matches, so we know that they're going to be in the quarterfinals. This, though, is by far their toughest test. Not too many household names in that squad of 8. And we're going to see the 15-year-old later as well. That will be fascinating. Tanvi Sharma, 15 years of age. Here's our lineup then, starting with world #2, Chen Yufei, her first appearance at this year's event, up against the 20-year-old Isharani Baruah. Then it's the first doubles, featuring world #1 pair Chen and Jia. It would be a seismic shock if Konjengbam and Mishra gave them any trouble. Han Yue's up next. A fascinating match this, against 17-year-old Anmol Kharb, heroine of India's win at the recent Asia Team Championships. The second doubles features Lu and Tan, whose meteoric rise up the women's doubles rankings is one of badminton's big stories over the past year or so. And we conclude with Wang Ziyi, the new Indonesian Masters champion, up against Tanvi Sharma, who, as I mentioned, just 15 years of age. What a big day it is for her. We start, though, with a rather more familiar name, Chen Yufei, the reigning Olympic women's singles champion. Haven't seen her in the tournament so far, and she starts against Isharani Baruah, a 20-year-old Indian. And as you can probably hear from the crowd reaction, 2 players are on their way, with Chen Yufei leading out on the way to court #1. We do have live action also on court 2. We won't miss a trick here with us all week, and of course building up to the semis and finals at the weekend. My name's Trevor Harris, Chris Langridge is alongside me. This is a tough assignment, obviously, Chris, for Isharani Baruah, but this whole Indian squad, very, very young, very inexperienced, but they've made the quarterfinals, and that's, you know, pretty much all that could have been asked of them, really. Yeah, you know, everything they've been asked of so far, they've ticked the box and done really well, but this is, you know, a massive test for all of them today. I think, you know, massive underdogs in every single match, just because they're playing either pretty much a Olympic champion, world #1, or a very, very, very good player. Not surprised that umpire Stefan Vene was having trouble hearing what Isharani Baruah wanted to do. It's very loud in the hall. The PA, the music, and a very excitable crowd looking forward to what they hope and think will be a straightforward victory for the host nation. 26 years of age now, Chen Yufei. She's ranked 2 in the world. She has, of course, been at #1. Initially, 5 years ago nearly it was. And as well as being the defending Olympic champion, she won a World Championship silver in 2022. She got 3 bronze as well. And was part of the Yuba Cup gold medal winning Chinese team in 2020. 14 World Tour titles. She's won all the big events, the All England, the World Tour finals. And she started the year by winning the India Open in January. There you see she hasn't played yet. That's the strength in depth that they have in this Chinese squad. We'll just bring in the Olympic champion for the 3rd match. I wonder what Isharani Baruah makes of that. 20 years of age, she's ranked just inside the world's top 100. She has won a couple of international tournaments this year, actually. One in Sri Lanka and one in the Netherlands. There you see her profile. And unlike Chen Yufei, she has been pressed into action over the last few days. She played both days at the weekend on Saturday and Sunday and came away with 2 victories, as you can see there, both of which were pretty comfortable in around about half an hour's play. Suspect she will find Chen Yufei a rather tougher nut to crack than either the Canadian or the Singaporean. Excellent crowding already for a Tuesday morning, and it will build up through the day. Stefan Vene of France is in the umpire's chair. He'll be assisted by David Evans from England. Just needs to stay calm, stay focused.
Ladies and gentlemen,
it's going to be a mighty tough ask against this woman.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, India, represented by Isharani Baruah. And on my left, China, represented by Chen Yufei. India to serve. Love all. Play.
So here we go, first shuttle hit in anger on day 4. I'd have thought Chen Yufei, Chris, would be delighted to actually get some playing time after having a watching brief over the weekend.
Yeah, I think, you know, as you said, the luxury they have to bring her in kind of when they want. It's the hardest match they've had in the group, and being able to just bring her in now, and she's so experienced, such a good player that she'll be fine in these conditions.
First time that Chen Yufei actually injected any pace into the shuttle. Gave Baruah a problem.
Really is amazing when you look at the singles players from India. This is their oldest player at 20. Yeah, such a young team, especially in the singles category.
That'll make her feel better.
Service over. 1, 2.
Unsurprisingly, it's the first meeting between these two. In fact, in every one of the 5 matches, either the singles or the doubles pair, they've never met before. Understandably, with India bringing such an inexperienced squad of players here to China. Good shot that from Baruah.
Yeah, and it's interesting what's happening, you know, in India at the moment with the amount of lady singles players they've got coming through. Saina Nehwal in the past and PV Sindhu now are kind of icons that these young generation are following, trying to follow in the footsteps of.
Yeah, the double Olympic medalist focusing on Paris, which is coming up in just a few months' time. It's judgment there from Chen Yufei as that drops in.
3-0.
I think Isharani's had a good start here.
Don't see her miss too many of those. She looks very calm, doesn't she, the 20-year-old? Oh, that's excellent. She forced Chen Yufei into the lift, and then a lovely piece of deception.
She does look very composed considering she's playing, you know, the Olympic champion in China with a lot of people. You know, it's a very, very full stadium and everyone obviously cheering for China. So a great start. She's managed to keep the crowd quite quiet so far. When I looked at some of Isharani's results, she won a challenge tournament in India in October. And I looked in more detail, and generally challenge tournaments you have a 32 draw, not a 64. And there was 64 draw in the ladies singles and also 64 in qualifying, which is, you know, incredible, the amount of players that entered. And the vast majority were from India. There was only a few foreign players. So it just shows the amount of players that are currently playing in India in ladies singles.
Good to see the sport clearly thriving in that part of the world.
Yeah, I mean, any European nation, they wouldn't have enough players to fill the draw. There's no way they'd be able to.
So Chen Yufei on terms now, having been 6-3 down. I'm not sure why it is, Chris, when you talk to people about, you know, what might happen with the women's singles in Paris, how people mention Yamaguchi, Anse Young obviously, and a few mentions for Carolina Marin, who looks back to somewhere near her best. Don't hear too many people mention Chen Yufei, but I mean, she's the Olympic champion. She's so consistent. I think she's got a hell of a chance.
Definitely, and when it comes to Olympics, it's a weird one just because it's only every 4 years, so it's who can handle the pressure the best to an extent. And see Chen Yufei being the current Olympic gold medalist, you could say she's under, depends how you look at it, either the most amount of pressure or the least. The least, she's already done it. The most, because she is the defending champion. She does sometimes go a little bit under the radar, I think. When you look at the rankings though with Chen Yufei, she's in slightly unique position where she's 9,000 points behind the world #1, but then 9,000 points ahead of the world #3. So she's kind of in a safe zone, as it were. She can't really go up, but she can't really go down. Almost definitely guaranteed to be #2 seed for the Olympics.
8-0.
It's a really good performance so far from the 20-year-old from India, Isharani.
Yes, and if Chen Yufei is seeded too, then obviously she won't be able to play An Se-young until the final if both women got that far. So after something of a sluggish start, Chen Yufei just warming up a bit now.
Service over. 9-10.
So just a single point lead for the Olympic champion at the mid-game interval.
आराम से ड्रॉप खेल टॉस खेल थोड़ा 5 पॉइंट का टारगेट लगा 5 पॉइंट कीप पुशिंग एट 5 पॉइंट नेक्स्ट पॉइंट फ्रेश पॉइंट
20 seconds.
वो साइड थोड़ा ध्यान रखना बस हां अच्छा चल रहा है फाइटिंग आएगा 2 पॉइंट करके
11-10. Play.
Not up.
12-10.
Slight misjudgment there.
Beautifully judged by Chen Yufei. And life very difficult there for the Indian.
Take Chen Yufei just a little bit of time to settle in this match. It's often the way though, you know, your first game in any kind of tournament. Since the break though, she's really come alive.
Just starting to feel the heat a little bit now, Baruah.
To be honest, you know, it is what you'd expect just because the difference in experience and level between the two players.
I think her fellow teammates there probably just about her only supporters in the hall. Oh, nice.
Yeah, amazing quality on that block. Yeah, Chen Yufei, you know, she's a mega star over here in China. Remember the China Masters, coming back quite late one night, and when the match is finished, and so many people waiting outside for her, and you know, the fans were almost shaking when she came. They were that excited to see her.
Did you ever get that reaction in England when you walked into a room?
No, unfortunately not, no.
Yeah, absolutely got her timing now.
16,
The Olympic champion.
7.
Yeah, and something she does so well. She's just such a composed player. Never looks rushed, always looks in control. Moves the shuttle around so well. Really, really good there.
12, 17.
Chen Yufei in big trouble on the backhand. Came in, took it early, lovely cross net to finish the rally with. Start of the match, I think Chen Yufei started just a little bit slowly. A few unforced errors sneaked in, but especially since 11, she's been really solid, giving nothing to her opponent. She makes it just look so easy, you know. Everything's so calm and composed.
Just moving the young Indian around the court almost at will there.
Great placement there, and then just so calm and well placed on that. Didn't panic, didn't snatch at it, just put it exactly where she wanted.
Isharani. Block our work. 19, 12.
So 8 game points here for Chen Yufei.
Game point 12.
So she finishes the first game in style, 21 points to 12. And after a very promising start actually from Baruah, the cream started rising to the top. Chen Yufei very comfortable towards the end of that opening game. Just 13 minutes so far.
छोड़ना नहीं है हम जोड़िए उसके लिए आए हम उसको स्मैश में ले सकती हो तुम बिलीव कर रहे हैं 2 पॉइंट फिर 10 ऑल का स्कोर याद रख 10 ऑल का स्कोर है गेम अपने हाथ में है
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Thank you, coach. Thank you, Yacha. Second game. Level. Play.
It was the amazing punch clear that did the damage.
It's interesting, Chen Yufei was out on the court probably at least a minute before she needed to be. Not much for the coaches to say to her, really, after that opening game. Wonderful touch.
Yeah, and I'd say in that situation, the integral thing to get across to Chen Yufei is simple as it sounds, but keep your concentration. You know, she had a bit of a slow start to the match, but from 11 in the first, you know, she found her level and she's flowing, and just about focusing on herself. Tactics kind of irrelevant to an extent. She's such a good player that it's just feeling comfortable in the venue is the key.
It was nicely flighted into the corner of the court.
1, 2.
Shown some impressive touches, Baruah.
Definitely, yeah.
And she moves well too, I think, around the court.
Yeah. She has won a couple of challenge tournaments, and you know, she just doesn't quite have the experience obviously Chen Yufei does. She's only 20 years old. She's a player that's coming through, and a match like this is great for her. It's great experience and kind of showing her what the very best in the world the level is. Clear to see we're going to see a lot of Indian female singles players coming through in the next kind of 4 or 5 years. Got a lot of young players that are showing a lot of promise.
Yes, obviously this is a match between two women from the two most populated countries on the planet. And a lot to pick from in India, but you've got to get the structure right.
It is amazing how much India as a nation has improved over the last kind of 10 to 15 years.
Men's and women's.
Yeah, it's an incredible improvement. I think 10 to 15 years ago they were on par with England as a nation. And now, you know, it's not even comparable, the difference in level. And I can only see them getting stronger and stronger.
Yeah, PV Sindhu on the women's side certainly been a trailblazer for women's badminton in India. Biggest danger there to Chen Yufei was when she collided with that little perspex block on the stand that the service judge uses to check the service legal.
Yeah, she reads this so well. It's incredible speed, but yeah.
Steady.
Just managed to stop herself.
Service over. 3-6.
I think it's interesting when I've been reading some of the interviews some of the Indian lady singles players have done. Almost every single one, you know, is a massive fan of Sindhu.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes as a player, you probably don't realise how much you inspire and motivate the next generation because, you know, they're in the same, some of them have been in the same team as her for the Asian team championships. And, you know, some of them was stating the greatest moment of their life. You know, it's the biggest thing ever, just to be in the team with her and be in the same vicinity as a player of that caliber. And you know, this is how much a player can kind of change badminton in a nation. It's amazing.
And I think also now that, you know, there are lots of young boys in India looking at the likes of, you know, Rankireddy and Shetty, who are doing great things on the men's doubles circuit.
And it's going to be interesting how many young men's doubles pairs now that we're going to see kind of emerge on the scene, because we're now seeing all these lady singles players. And India haven't maybe had the depth in the men's doubles category in the past, but now with Rankireddy and Shetty, I think we're probably going to see a big change there as well. Here, there's no doubt about it, she's competing, you know. It's this massive challenge, but she's at a similar level, definitely not the same level because we're talking about an Olympic champion here, but she's putting in a great performance so far, Isharani, and there's no doubt that she's just going to improve over the next, you know, 2, 3, 4 years.
And India, of course, the current Thomas Cup champions. Beat Indonesia 3-love in Bangkok a couple of years ago. They'd never even made the semi-finals before that.
It would be incredible if they could recreate that this year. I think it's a very big ask, but the Thomas Cup is definitely quite an open event. Quite a few nations that possibly could win it.
Yeah, and I think on the women's side in the Uber Cup, I think you'd make China pretty warm favourites.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for anyone to beat China. It's possible. For me, South Korea have a very slim chance. Japan also have a slim chance. Even someone like Thailand, but China, huge favourites. Their team is, it's like you handpicked it yourself, it's that good.
Well, they are the defending champions. They beat the Chinese 2 years ago, so it's never a formality, never a done deal. But here, Chen Yufei just doing what's necessary, really, in this match.
I think for South Korea, they had, unfortunately, a big loss with Kim Go-eun being injured and obviously losing their second lady singles player. It's a big ask of some of their younger players to step up in this tournament.
Just seeing those kind of rallies that Chen Yufei's just got a little bit more craft.
And the umpire there was just saying that essentially she blocked Chen Yufei from playing a shot. Also looked possibly she took over Chen Yufei's side.
Yeah. I actually like the way she reacted to that, Chris. It was like a polite inquiry, but she was entitled to ask the umpire exactly what the decision was and why.
Yeah, and then she didn't dwell, wasn't really phased, and then kind of carried on.
Signs off with a flourish before the mid-game break. 11-6, Chen Yufei in cruise control at the moment.
You have to play this pace. First one. Second round is only smash कर रही है. For that variation, play that slow drop. Which वो slow drop करना है, एक toss मारना है, एक smash मारना है. Because she is giving you a lot of chances. तेरे को समझ नहीं है कि वो इधर कॉर्नर पे, वो टॉस पे, हाँ तेरा ये क्रॉस कोड स्मैश पे, तो पॉइंट्स आ रहा है. You have to trust that.
Good one, 20 seconds.
और लंबा सांस ले. डाउनलोड आया तो प्रोसेस लगा
Isharani, TotalEnergies BWF. (11-6). Play.
I think often in team events you do see some of the surprises where a player almost comes alive, and if you think back to the Asian team champs we're going to see later on, Anmol Kharb, where she kind of came alive and put in some of the, well, probably say the best performances of her life. Will we see any more of that later on today? Feel like it's slipping away here.
13-6.
So hard, you have to work so hard against Chen Yufei. She doesn't give you anything. Moves the shuttle around so well. Just these mistakes starting to creep in.
14-6.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of scoreboard pressure as well, isn't there? She sees 14-6 down and it's a little deflating. Maybe trying to finish rallies too quickly.
And there's such a fine line between slight amount of panic that you're not winning the point, so you try even harder to win the points, but you force it at the wrong time and you end up gifting the point to your opponent. Then on the other side of that is being slightly passive and not really doing anything to hurt your opponent, and you can't win the point, especially someone as good as Chen Yufei. She's not just going to give you points.
Service over. 7-15.
Would have been some shot if she'd got it back between the legs. But it's becoming a bit of a stroll here for the world number 2.
And she does make it look so easy. Look like she almost strolled forward to the net, reads where it's going, and they're so calm with the kill. The second half of this game, just a few more mistakes have crept in, and just Chen Yufei hasn't had to do a lot to have this big lead. Again, we've got a challenge here, but
well, she may as well. Nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that the line judge's decision was correct, but Hawkeye will check it. Each player has 2 challenges per game, and if they're correct, they keep the challenge.
I haven't got many right, but
you were pretty confident about that one.
Confident on that one. Rightly so.
Play.
Well, it never rains, but it pours as far as Baruah's concerned at the moment. Just can't seem to get any kind of flow, and just 2 points away from defeat here. Oh, that's a magic shot, though.
Service over.
Yeah, great shot. We've definitely seen moments throughout the match, the potential that she has. It's been very hard for her to maintain it against a player of a lot more experience in Chen Yufei.
Well, you've got to admire the fighting spirit. I mean, almost certain she's going to lose this match, but she's still giving absolutely everything, and she's still showing that she's got some genuine talent, the young Indian. But now she faces 10 match points.
Match point 10. Yeah, use your...
Well, just a bit of a warm-up really for Chen Yufei, 21-10. Following on from a fairly comfortable first game success as well. So she's through in terms of maintaining China's 100% record. They've not lost a match yet. 33 minutes the match time.
21-10.
And a big ovation too for the Olympic champion from an adoring home crowd. Desperate to see their country regain the Uber Cup on Sunday. (21-12), 21-10. 33 minutes the match time. Well, it's not going to get any easier for India, because up next, our first doubles, the top-ranked pair in the world, Chen, Ji Fan. That's next. Well, a warm welcome back to Chengdu. Chin River flowing all the way through the city. Some magnificent architecture as well here. And always a nod to the past too. It's actually only the third Chinese city that has 2 international airports after Beijing and Shanghai. It's a primary railway hub as well. Back inside the arena then, and it's time to concentrate on the doubles. First doubles match between Chen and Ji Fan, and Priya Konjengbam and Shruti Mishra, their opponents from India. Players waiting in the wings. We're just waiting for the arrival of the court officials. And once that happens, that quartet will be on their way to court number 1. Umpire and service judge have arrived, and that means the players won't be too far behind. Massive ask this for the 2 Indians. Have won both their matches so far, but this is a huge step up against the best women's doubles pair in the world. Four-time world champions, Chen and Jie. First meeting, obviously, between the 2.
Okay, Priya, red or black? Black is the call? It is black. Service, you serving? Okay, who will receive? Okay, which end? Okay.
Olympic silver medalists, of course, in Rio. And they've got 2 Uber Cup gold medals in their collection, 2016 and again in 2020. 18 World Tour titles they've won, including 3 World Tour finals and the All England. They had a magnificent year in 2023, 6 titles. And already this year, they've won the French Open in March. On their day, nigh on unbeatable, you'd say, in women's doubles. Just had the 1 match so far in this competition, which was a facile victory against the Canadian pair on Sunday. Just under half an hour is all it took. So what about the Indian pair of Konjengbam and Mishra? Well, they're ranked 67 in the world. We've got some of their recent results. They got to the round of 16 at the Swiss Open, round of 32 Orléans Masters. But to say this is a a tough challenge, Chris, is something of an understatement against the best doubles pair in the world.
Yes, yeah. It's a humongous ask. I think this would be the biggest shock of the tournament so well, definitely, maybe of the year. It's going to be a big ask, but the thing is they've got to go out there, they've got to believe, which is going to be difficult to do, but they've got to challenge their opponents. They can't just gift it to them.
Mishra's 21, she's 4 years younger than her partner. There were their 2 victories so far. Beat Heng and Chin easily enough of Singapore, and then the Canadian pair also. But this is a completely different ball game.
Court 2, Rubrica, Korea versus Denmark. Women's double. Ben Hanna, Lee So-hee versus Michael Thaker. Sarah Dickinson.
裁判员向虚拟经理发球裁判贺曼伊朗。
Jiang Shu from China. Service judge, Ermin Mehan.
Kevin Ban is our chair umpire from the States, and Andrea Chiappini from Italy is in the service judge's chair for this match.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, India, represented by Priya Konjengbam and Shruti Mishra. And on my left, China, represented by Chen and Jia Yifan. India to serve, Priya Konjengbam to Jia Yifan. Level, play.
Well, I'm not sure how much Konjengbam saw of that. She certainly didn't get a racket anywhere near it.
Love.
Fine shot, but just didn't pick it up, I don't think.
Love. Service over. 1-2.
Telling serve.
Service over. 3-2.
Well, rather like Baruah in the first match we saw, I don't think there are any signs that These Indians are intimidated by playing such an exalted pair in Chen and Jia. Made a decent enough start.
Service fault called, too high.
First service fault of the day, called by Andrea Ciappini, the Italian service judge. Have to serve below 1.15 m, otherwise that's illegal. Well, no lack of effort from Konjengbam, but she had no chance of getting to that once it clipped the tape of the net.
I think the Indians so far have competed well. Then before the game, I would have expected a little bit more of a one-sided affair, even at the start. It'll be interesting how things kind of progress as the match goes on.
Well, they're hard enough to play at the best of times, but that's a couple of net cords now in fairly quick succession.
Yes, the last thing you want when you're playing the best pair in the world. Just want a little bit of luck on your side, but
Service over, 4-7.
Seen it so many times before, haven't we, that kind of tactic with Chen and Jia.
yeah, it's one of the big challenges for the Indian pair. They're off balance, you can see not an angle, step up, they're in big trouble. It's so hard to get through the defense of the Chinese.
Service over, 5-8. Service over, 9-5.
Perfect serve.
10.
Net cord,
5.
line.
Service over, 6-10. Shruti serving.
So without really reaching top gear, Chen and Jia enjoying a 5-point lead at the mid-game interval, and crowd more than happy with that.
Play.
Great defence. Started our rally, we saw the famous flick from Jia Fan. I've seen so many times how devastating a flick is. I don't think anyone can read it.
Just unrelenting, isn't it?
And it's one of the big differences just between the two pairs. You know, I think that the Indian pair, they have actually defended well. It's just eventually the Chinese are getting through, whereas the other way round, there's not many rallies where the Indians have got through on the attack. Still very competitive though. The Indian pair are definitely playing to a good level. This year they've only played 4 tournaments, and for them, this is me being a bit tough on them, but quarter-final of the Malaysian Open, they did win the French Open, but then a last 16 of the All England and a semi of the Asian Champs. For them,
yeah,
quite average.
The bar is so high though, isn't it?
Yeah, because if you look back to last year, they won the Korean Open, won the Japan Open,
6,
won the World,
yeah,
won the China Open, won the Asian Games, Danish Open. Sorry, Japan Open, they're actually runner-up. Sorry, they didn't win that. But, you know, all the others, it's just, they were so dominant.
Service over, 14-8.
Great set play, both setting up their forehands. Now, when you look at the losses they've had this year, 3 of the losses, 2 have been to Chinese, and 2 very good Chinese pairs. You often see this in matches, just starting again to slip away from the Indian pair.
It's a similar story, wasn't it, in the first match?
Yeah, and the experience of, you know, world #1's just doing everything right now and making life difficult. A few more mistakes coming from the Indians, simpler shots as well. Didn't quite move into that one.
Service over, 9-16.
Jia Fan just saying you could have just lifted it away. And I think this is what the Chinese could do. They could just move the shuttle around fairly comfortably, just because I don't think the Indians have quite got the firepower to be able to get through.
Service over, 17-9. over 10-17.
Brilliant shot. Fantastic vision there.
11,
See Jiafan move to cover the line. You see it, move to cover the line, her forehand, spotted the gap. Brilliant shot.
Well, rather like Isharani Baruah in the previous match, you certainly can't criticise Konjengbam and Mishra's effort here.
No, and they're a fairly new partnership, only 9 tournaments on their ranking, and
line judge,
ranked 67 in the world. I don't think that's a fair reflection, to be honest. I think they're going to be much higher than that.
Thank you.
I think they're competing fairly well, you know. I'm slightly concerned it might be a very, very comfortable game for the Chinese.
12-17.
Well placed smash.
18-12.
Nearly. Just about high enough, I think, to cause her trouble.
19-12.
She's such a net predator, Jiafan. That will be one of her easier kills, and it brings up 8 game points.
I think the call might have been it's going out, and then there was just a massive indecision. By the time she struck it, just far too late. Integral Pike will make that decision early. Stick by it. Nearly has a set play.
Service over.
Can't hit to her forehand on the third shot.
So 21-13
First game won by
in
China,
17 minutes
21-13.
on court.
ready straight. बीच में सही में कंट्रोल करते रहो, playing very well. ठीक है, एक पॉइंट करके खेलो, एक पॉइंट. हाँ, first 11 points, focus on that. इधर का ट्राई करते हैं. पीछे बहुत आउट निकलता था, बहुत आउट निकलता था. हाँ. और एक जगह लेफ्ट नहीं, उसके फोरहैंड.
主要是看你上的，他很明显反应。好，明白。
他们那边也会打出这个，真的。其实我感觉我们前面挑的也有点数据，只是他们没放而已。稍微幅度对，不过这样子挑还好，太难了。
Second game, level, play.
Be interesting to have heard the advice that Manu Attari and Serpallela Gopachan gave their players at the interval. Fortunately, my Indian is not so good.
Can't help.
Service over.
Great return.
1-all.
Actually spoke to Manu Attari earlier in the week, one of the newly appointed doubles coaches for India. He'll be working alongside, or possibly kind of underneath Matthias Boe. I'm sure he'll learn a lot from Matthias Boe, who's definitely one of the leading doubles coaches in the world.
She was a bit surprised actually by the power of that from Chen.
Great stop off. Yeah, and this is the thing sometimes, taking a little bit of pace out on the overhead, putting a bit of slicing or hitting it, you know, even 15% softer, it can surprise your opponent. If you always go with the same pace, they get used to it. Great interception of the net.
Service over.
Really sharp from Mishra at the net. Makes the move early. Great placement as well.
Three, 4. Service over. 5-3.
It was good defence in our rally from the pair from India, definitely, but it's just a relentless attack eventually, almost every single time the Chinese are getting through.
Yeah, there was a great pickup from Mishra in the middle of that point, but as you say, all to no avail in the end.
But great placement there, just off the right hip. So difficult to get it back. That's the one. And it was the placement. She did really well to get him out of trouble. I think it's one of those things, they haven't played a pair of this caliber who can relentlessly attack with good quality for such a consistent duration.
On here is 6.
Yeah, just to advise, if anyone's looking at the scoreboard and it says 5-3, it is 7-3. I think there might be a slight delay. Fantastic serving. It's the one I spoke about earlier. There is no player I've seen in the world that can read her flick serve. It is absolutely devastating. She can hold it for so long and last second just punch it.
Well anticipated.
Really good take off the net there from Mishra.
4-8.
Yeah, just to confirm, that scoreline on your screen isn't right. That's why we've removed it. It's 8-4 currently, or 4-8, the Indian pair serving.
Service over. 9-4. Out. Service over. 5-9.
4号场地汤姆西杯，中国香港队对阵阿尔及利亚队，男子单打，吴英伦对阵阿尔及利亚队贝拉尔。
Too high. Service over. 10-5.
It's the second time.
Jason 1-1 versus Mohammed Abdurrahim.
Those Perspex blocks, you can see that's what the service judge uses as a guide.
11-5.
So 11-5 it is at the mid-game interval, and in total charge now Chen and Jia.
From Sri Lanka.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Coach, come to your turn. Coach. Yeah. 11-5, play. Well, 5.
Exactly the right shot where the gap was.
Service
Missed
over.
it.
6-12.
defense. And Mishra kind of lured them in and then went back over. Bit dangerous, but worked well.
Just missed the line.
8-12.
So 3 straight points here for the Indian pair.
And all very, very quick points as well. It's the right idea from Mishra, trying to block and get forward and get the attack. Just got to be careful because the opponent here, there, Jiafan, she's ready, she's waiting, and the block's just a bit too loose.
Use your foot. Okay, Sushi. Play. Service over. 9-14.
So careful, exposing your partnership. Konjengbam. It's this one here. The placement's just not quite good as on Jiafan's racket. Cross player covering the middle. On a forehand, you've got to find a backhand.
16-9.
Brilliant.
Service over. 10-16.
Something that Mishra's done really well today. As soon as she gets the chance to step forward there. Read, that's a lovely brush. Took that incredibly well off the tape. So it wasn't really that loose. Reads it so well.
Yeah, 10-16.
Brilliant counter-attack again. This is the thing, the Chinese are just so comfortable in defence. They play the big court where they open up. So hard for the Indian pair to be able to find a way of getting through.
And you wouldn't say that Chen and Jia have reached top gear or anywhere that close to it, to be honest, so far, but they haven't had to. It's a long event, 9-day event, the Thomas and Euler Cups, and no point peaking too soon, especially with qualification to the quarterfinals already assured. Lovely touch.
Stop drop, yeah, incredible shot. She does have such a good stop drop.
18-10.
Good play from Jiafan earlier on in the rally there to get the attack. Played to perfection.
Thank you. Service over. 11-18.
It must be so frustrating playing against him, mustn't it? You give it everything you've got, and the defence is so rock solid, and you just try a bit too hard and lose the point.
And it's that fine line. The defence, obviously, from the Chinese is very good. There's no doubt about it. And the firepower from the Indians is difficult to get through. Need either slightly better placement, more power, or slight more variation. If you just hit to rackets, they'll be able to get it back, even if it's half-court lift. Would have been lovely. Just missed it.
So match points here for Chen and Jia.
Service over. 12-20.
Amazing touch.
And a very comfortable victory for the Chinese pair. "36 minutes on court was all it took. And Konjengbam and Mishra just didn't really have an answer to the class of the world #1 pair.
21-13, 21-12.
Nothing like knocking a shuttle into the crowd to get them excited. So business as usual for those two. An absolutely integral part of this Chinese Uber Cup squad. A little bit of good fortune at the end, but there was nothing lucky about the victory. So 21-13, 21-12. 36 minutes, the match time. Now coming up, what might be the most fascinating match of this tie. Han Yue, we know all about her, up against the 17-year-old Anmol Kharb, whose heroics at the Asia Team Championships got plenty of headlines. That's in a moment. to the Chengdu High-Tech Zone Sports Centre Gymnasium. It's actually the venue for the 2022 World Table Tennis Championships. They have volleyball here, basketball, and a few concerts as well. Part of a complex that covers around 200,000 square metres. We've had excellent attendances since we started on Saturday. So we've reached the third match in this tie. Han Yue against Anmol Kharb. It should be very interesting. I mentioned Kharb's heroics at the Asia Team Championships. Can she repeat those kind of performances at this higher level? We'll see. Because Han Yue is so solid. Top 10 player. She's actually playing her third match, so she'll have played all the group games. Mentioned they're resting Herbing Zhao today. Players on their way.
Versus Women's Singles. Han Yue versus Anmol Kharb.
裁判员尹达文、英格兰，发球裁判员斯蒂芬妮、法国。
Umpire David Evans from England. Service judge Stéphane Benet from France.
Goes without saying, this is the first meeting between these two. And word will certainly have got round about what Anmol Kharb did in those Asia Team Champs, so I don't think Han Yue is going to take her lightly here. Really interesting. Han Yue ranks 7th in the world, that is her best ever position. 24 years of age. And she's already tasted success in this competition, won a Uber Cup gold in 2020. Former World Junior Championship silver medalist. Won her first World Tour title, actually very young. In her teens when she won the side Modi back in 2018. And they had to wait 4 years to win another one, which was the High-Low Open. And then last year, she won the Super 500 Arctic Open in Finland. Not been extended so far, look at that, 29 and 27 minutes respectively in her 2 matches to date. Anmol Kharb, just 17 years of age. She's played both matches also and won them both. Wouldn't take too much store by her ranking, which is down in the 200s. Doesn't quite tell the whole story. There you see at 258. But I'm not sure that means a great deal. From Faridabad. And she hasn't been extended either. Lee of Singapore and then Zhang of Canada. Straight games, half an hour or so each match. I didn't see any of those Asia Team Championships, Chris, but just reading all the reports, she was absolutely out of this world for a 17-year-old.
Yeah, it was kind of, I don't know, almost unexplainable, especially as, you know, unbeaten, and the players that she played against, you know, she's beating players from China, Japan, Thailand. These are strong countries, and you look at her other results, she only has 2 of us in 2 tournaments and not quite to the same extent. So maybe she just, you know, came alive for that. So it's going to be interesting what we see today. This is a big, big challenge, but it's a great one for her to have at this young age.
And she was under real pressure. She was playing the deciding singles matches.
Yep.
You know, it's not like she was first on, and it's not quite the same.
And also all the players she's playing, you know, have a lot of experience. You know, I had to triple, quadruple check her age because I heard she was young and I saw it was 17 and I thought somebody must have put the wrong number up. But 17 years old, like, it really is incredible.
David Evans of England's the umpire for this one, and Stéphane Venet of France will be his service judge. There's Stéphane. Well, stand by, we've got a 15-year-old on later.
And this is, you know, this is the thing about India at the moment. They've got so many young players coming through. It's going to be so interesting to see how they kind of mature and their level, what it eventually becomes.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, India, represented by Anmol Kharb. And on my left, China, represented by Han Yue. China to serve. Level, play.
So Han Yue will get us underway.
This will undoubtedly be the biggest challenge that she'll ever have faced. The young age of 17, so it's going to be interesting to see how she handles everything, the situation, her opponent.
Well, early signs, and I know it's very early, but this might be competitive.
1-0.
And to be honest, if it actually is a good, you know, competitive game, even that alone is incredible from a 17-year-old against one of the best players in the world. And Han Yue's missed out on the Olympics by less than 1,000 points. She's ranked 7 in the world, just because China can only have two players, and number 6 in the world is the second Chinese, Hebing Zhao.
Service over. 2-1.
Brilliant net shot.
3-1.
String's gone.
Anmol.
3号场地汤姆斯杯，加拿大队对阵澳大利亚队，男子单打，阮世浩对阵于向阳。
Court 3, Thomas Cup, Canada versus Australia.
Nicely constructed point that from the youngster.
2-3.
裁判员董明宇，中国；发球裁判员大桑，毛里求斯。
Umpire, Konjengbam from China. Service judge, Isharani from Mauritius.
String's gone again.
Service over. 4-2.
Well, she's providing plenty of work for the stringers here.
Yes.
This is incredible. Not 100% sure she's got another racket.
Yes, one is arriving now, I think. How many did you used to take onto court, Chris?
A lot, because I would break. I mean, you're talking 15.
Wow.
Yeah, I could easily go through 6 in a match.
Anmol, can you put that in the box, please? Thank you. 4-2.
Well, thankfully we've got some rackets and play can resume.
Well, clearly nothing wrong with that weapon, is there?
She found the right racket for her.
4.
Sometimes it is amazing, some of the younger players, some of the things that, you know, that happen. To go onto court with 2 rackets is a surprise. She could well have, in her knock-up, broken 3 or 4 and they were getting strung. These are often the things, though, that you learn.
Service over. 4-5.
It's amazing, though, the way that her maturity of the way that she plays. Moves the shuttle around well. She doesn't really panic. Easy for a player out there to kind of overforce it or panic and not be able to move the shuttle around in a fairly calm, composed way.
She's made a really composed start here.
Yeah.
Service over. 6-4. Seven, 4.
That was almost dismissive.
8-4.
It's the danger of the cross clear when it's red, maybe a tiny bit flat. Open yourself up. Anyway, read it really well. Big gap for the straight smash.
Beautiful play from Han Yue, moving her opponent all over the court.
Yeah, and the big thing there, Anmol Kharb, she was just in trouble pretty much every shot. Every shot she's taken late, she can't hurt her opponent. And it gets to the point where she can't get it back.
Service over. 5-10.
So it's a handy lead, 11-5. Just had to up her game a little bit, Han Yue, after a very decent start from Anmol Kharb, but at the moment she's comfortable enough. 11-5 at the mid-game break.
Play.
This is now where the test becomes an even bigger challenge. And the deficit's growing. Hard to control all these emotions, feelings, thoughts. Just got to refocus.
Service over. 6-13. Seven, 13.
Brilliant net there, Han Yue.
14-7.
She's so clever at the net, isn't she, the Chinese?
It's just perfect. You can see how low Kharb's having to take it. It's almost impossible.
And she's had by far the better of those kind of exchanges in this match so far.
Seven.
Challenge here from Kharb. Just as Han Yue was giving it the big fist pump, so Hawkeye has been asked a question. It's well in.
Challenge unsuccessful. One challenge remaining. 16-7. Play. 17-7. Service over. 8-17.
Yeah, she was pretty much a sitting duck there, Kharb.
Yeah, it's lovely deception on that return of serve. Stepped in, held it just long enough.
Court 2, Ubrigo. Korea versus Denmark. Women's single. Sim Yu-jin versus Lynn Christopherson.
裁判员拉克普里亚，斯里兰卡。发球裁判员孙高。
Anyway, was there, she had it. Took it so early. Almost just tried to play too good a shot. Don't have to win the point on that exact shot. Could be 2 shots later.
From China.
But still cruising in this opening game. Beautiful shot again.
Service over.
And Kharb is just starting to find out what life at this level is all about. How on earth did she win that point? Kharb doesn't know.
Great defence from Han Yue.
Game point. 9.
That's the thing, when you get the opportunity there, you've either got to commit a bit more and it's got to be a bit more dangerous, a bit more aggressive, the shot, or you've got to stop it off.
Whole load of game points here for Han Yue.
Hong Kong, China versus Algeria. Men's double. Hong Kong, China.
Just needed the one. 21-9 it is in only 16 minutes on court.
9.
裁判员费恩，印度。发球裁判员罗哈纳，斯里兰卡。
Umpire, Fancy Cadet, Canadian. Service judge.
वो ड्रॉप मारी आगे रहा वो स्मैश मारी आगे रहा पूरा फिर पीछे पुश किया उसको ड्रॉप कर फिर 90% वापस उठा 90% वापस उठा मैच मार के वापस ड्रॉप वो वापस पुश करके पीछे पीछे जाना है रिकॉर्ड जा रहा था उधर से अभी इधर से जाएगा ठीक है ना फाइट करना है नहीं जा रहा है तो मैं बोलता हूँ
4-1, 20 seconds. Second game. Level. Play. Service over. 1 low.
Well, she made half decent start in the first game, did Kharb, and then things kind of quickly went away from her, but showing us that she's got a full array of shots.
Service over. 1-all.
As it won't feel it at the moment for her, but games like this are so important for her development. Just because, yes, she is thrown in a little bit at the deep end, playing number 7 in the world in China, in a big, big stage, but these are the games that you learn so much from.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't give the impression at all that she's in any way fazed by the magnitude of the occasion.
No, not at all. I think it should give her a good indication at the moment. You know, there's no doubt about it. She's one of the rising stars of Indian badminton, but gives her a good indication of the very best in the world. You know, how tough it is. That's brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
3-1.
It should give her, you know, that extra hunger, that extra desire. Also gives her the chance to kind of address the areas that she needs to improve upon.
Well, hopefully this is going to be a problem.
Wait to take the shoe off.
It's an issue with that ankle, maybe.
Yeah, we can see it's already got strapping on it. Oh yeah, looked like she just slightly rolled it. Oh yeah, that looks quite sore. Hopefully it's one of those things that feels worse and then it actually starts to feel better. Just see in the background there, Kashyap, her coach. She's limping, of course.
This doesn't look good at all, does it?
Yeah. We saw on that replay the amount of weight that she would have put through her ankle, but obviously in a side on the side of it. She's obviously got an issue already with the amount of strapping that she had on her ankle. Indian coaches are obviously very concerned.
Well, it's going to have to be some kind of serious magic spray to get her to be able to continue, you'd have thought, judging by the way that she just hobbled a few yards from the court to the chair.
And this is where, for me, you have to do the sensible thing. Yeah, she's obviously in serious pain. It looks like massively swollen already. We can see a lump on the side of her ankle. Looks like it's puffed up already. I mean, I can't see there's any way she could possibly carry on playing.
I'm not sure she should, even if she wanted to be honest. Because all you do is exacerbate the problem.
And it's a really tough situation for her to be in.
Yeah, she's going to have to stop, and understandably. See how badly she's limping. Oh, what a pity. Really looking forward to seeing more of the 17-year-old. Yes, she was getting beaten, but clearly there's a lot of talent there, and all we can do is wish her speedy as possible recovery.
India retires. Match won by China.
And that win for Han Yue guarantees obviously China victory in the tie, as they now lead by 3 matches to love, with only 2 remaining. So Han Yue only needs to be on court for Just 23 minutes until Anmol Kharb was unable to continue. So 21-9 and then 4-1. Unfortunately, Anmol Kharb couldn't continue with that ankle injury. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, it'll be the second of the doubles. Liu and Tan, who've made such a storming impression in the sport in such a short time. They're up against Singhi and Thaker in a moment. Well, a warm welcome back to Chengdu, fourth most populated city in China. One of the more attractive cities as well. Greenery everywhere you look. We call it the country of heaven in these parts. Well, there may be a little bit of a gap until the start of our next match, obviously, because they have to give the players the opportunity for a warm-up, so maybe a longer break than usual between matches. It does give me the chance to just give you a bit of history about the Uber Cup. Mentioned earlier, if you were with us, that Korea Republic are the defending champions, having beaten China 3-2 in Bangkok a couple of years ago in the final. In fact, ironically, China beat Korea Republic when the event was last staged in China. That was in 2016. 30th edition of this tournament since it first started in 1957. First Uber Cup was held in Lancashire in England, north of England. Only 5 countries have ever won it. We mentioned earlier that China's dominance, they've won 15 times, they've won 10 of the last 13. Next best is Japan with 6. Well, it looks like we are going to get a fairly prompt start because the officials are on court. Indeed we are, they're on their way out for this second women's doubles.
Court 1. Uber Cup, China versus India. Women's double. Liu Shengzhu, Anmol versus Singhi, Thaker.
裁判员安德烈亚，意大利；发球裁判员海伦，美国。
Umpire, Andrea Giardini from Italy. Service judge, Kevin Van from the United States of America.
Always enjoy watching these two. They've, as I said, had a massive impact in a very, very short period of time. This will be another big challenge for the two Indians, Simran Singhi and Ritika Thaker.
Black. Side. Who's going to receive?
Singhi to transfer.
So Luntan as high as 3 in the world now. It really has been a meteoric rise for these two. 7 titles they've won in the last 15 months. And that included 5 last year. And already this year they've won the Malaysia Open and the Indonesia Masters. Tan is 21, just a year older than a partner. That ranking has just literally gone from absolutely nowhere. Now they're 3 in the world. Just had the 1 match so far. It didn't last very long. And their opponents, ranked outside the world's top 50, Singhi and Thaker. So they're going to have their work cut out for them. Got to the semi-finals of the Portugal International Championships a couple of months ago. Actually older than their opponents. Singhi's 22, Thaker a year older than that. And it's going to be a tough ask for them to cope with the power of Lu and Tan. I think it's one of the stories of the last year, Chris, that this pair's rise so quickly from nowhere to one of the top pairs in the sport.
Yeah, the first time I got to see them live was Clash of Clans, which was the latter part of last year, and I was 100% sure that they were going to be, I said, which was a bold comment, the best pair, ladies doubles pair for their age I've ever seen. And to be honest, for me, I'm not really surprised. They are special, they're unique, they're different. They're going to revolutionise the ladies doubles game. They're still so young, at 20 and 21 and 3 in the world. And it wouldn't surprise me at the next Olympics, see, some time away, if they're not, they already are one of the best in the world, but if they're not showing their full dominance of maybe being world #1.
Andrea Cipini of Italy is the umpire, and Kevin Ban of the US is the service judge.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the right, India, represented by Thaker and Singhi. On the left, China, represented by Liu Shensu and Dan Ning. China to serve, Dan Ning to Singhi. Level, play.
Early taste of the power at the back of the court from Lu.
Brilliant serve.
Love.
I think it could be the biggest ask possibly of all the matches, this one, for the Indian pair.
And there've been a few.
Yeah. And it's one of these games where being a coach, it's tough to be able to actually say what advice you could give to the Indian pair, just because the golfing level. I mean, we're talking about a special pair on the other side of the court from China.
Service over, 1-3.
Well, that's a clever little shot, yeah.
2-3.
defence, opening the court up, finding the gap. It's an area where they're so good. In the counter on the defence, but also the mid-court, the flat game. Liu and Tan, so good.
Well, you're almost surprised when they miss one of those shots, to be honest.
Yeah, before that last overhead, I mean, they did everything right. They got themselves into the position, got the lift they wanted, and just kind of missed the easier shot. But the way that they were moving the shuttle around, it's effortless. It's so comfortable. It's so easy. Wow. Brilliant.
4-all. Service over. 5-4.
Missed that. She maybe just trying to hit it too hard.
5.
The Chinese are just saying they thought it touched her. From up here, I've got no idea.
I'm not sure it did.
It's close, but I don't think it did either. Indian partnership there did incredible to stay in that rally. They're in all sorts of trouble. Variation on the serve.
Over. 6-5.
So yeah, first few rallies for the Indian pair, maybe they struggled, but since then they've acquitted themselves, you know, quite well. And good return of serve, slightly loose serve there.
Service over.
Really aggressive on the return though.
All.
Good overhead, really good in the mid, and then came forward.
6.
Strong backhand drive. That's sharp. Not really that loose. They're in trouble right from the return of serve. Clever return.
Service over.
See Liu stepping in and went over the top.
Yeah, completely fooled there, wasn't she? Liu Shengshu. Some way beyond the back line, that one.
China challenges.
Well, they're challenging it.
India challenges. Goal out.
Looked like it was long to me, but let's see what Hawkeye has to say.
challenge unsuccessful. One challenge remaining. Service over. 9-7. Play.
Fantastic retrieving from Tanvi.
Yeah, she did so well to get herself out of trouble, in all sorts of trouble, and incredible backhand. Strong defence stepping in, doing exactly the right stuff, taking a pace off where the gap was. Again, brilliant variation on the serve.
11-7.
So 11-7 at the mid-game interval, but up to this point, Singhi and Thaker actually acquitting themselves pretty well against the world's number 3 pair.
Don't think that we'll get a point. अभी जोर से मारूंगा करके ना धीरे-धीरे मारते रहो and ready. So don't ever get committed so that you can't take those runs. इधर मारा पीछे ऐसा नहीं. मारते रहो. Always jab and ready. And focus more on it.
11-7. Play.
I was mentioning earlier though about the Chinese kind of being slightly revolutionary, let's say. It's even the variation they have on the serve, the returns. They've just got kind of so much variation everywhere. Chopping the serve, driving, serving out wide, serving slightly quicker, slightly slower.
7.
Well, even the net cord couldn't help the Indians there.
Even from the return of serve there, the Indian pair, they were on the defence. Return of serve's going in upward direction. Chinese have the attack the whole rally. And you know, the Indian pair, they have defended quite well so far, but you're not going to win the rally from the defensive position against a pair this good from China. Is when the Chinese have the attack, they're on balance, they're in a fairly good position. Every time the Indian pair have the attack, they're slightly out of position, off balance, and this is why making a few more unforced errors.
Yeah, golfing class just starting to show now, isn't it, between these two pairs?
Everything right. Just that final execution.
16. Service over. 17-8.
Well anticipated. Oh, she put it wide. Anticipated it.
Yep.
Just couldn't execute.
Yes, very slightly loose net shot here. There, reads it incredibly well. Tries to be just slightly too perfect a shot. Great serve, tumble serve again, yeah. And it all gets set up from that because the return goes in an upward direction. Chinese have the attack. This is the thing in the men's doubles category, the first 3 shots of the rally are so important, and these two are kind of taking that on into the women's game, and that's why it's so kind of revolutionary and exciting. And it's just this relentless attack and pressure.
So a little matter of 12 game points here for Lewin Tan.
Again, nearly genius. Misses it by a fraction.
20.
That'll make it work though. 21 points to 9.
First game won by China.
Only 12 minutes on court for that first game. Lewin Tan in control here.
Second game, level, play.
Just no weaknesses, are there, in the game of Lewin Tan?
No, and it was actually a better rally from the Indian pair. You know, they were moving the shuttle around, they were defending well, but it's just this constant bombardment from the Chinese that they just can't handle. You know, on one hand, it's no surprise we're talking about one of the very, very best pairs in the world. Definitely the most improved pair over the last kind of 9 to 12 months. Great return of serve. Finding the gap between the two players. So when Liu takes it, she's so low.
Well, that'll disappoint them. Could easily have just rolled over. It didn't. Came back on their side of the net.
Again, any chance they get to go forward, the Chinese, they take that, read it so well. Tan sees the opportunity, steps in.
Service over, 2, 3.
Nice shot that from Singhi.
And keeps it flat over the net. Slightly too big a backswing from Liu.
You just see Liu gearing up for one of those and you almost want to take cover.
Service over, 3, 4.
Well read at the net.
Just the wrong side of the line. They're going to ask, though. They're going to ask the question.
Goal out.
I think it did just miss, but close-ish.
Otherwise, again, if it has missed by a whisker, otherwise a good rally. The problem is it's still the relentless pressure from the Chinese.
Challenge unsuccessful. 1 challenge remaining. Service over. 5, 3. Play.
4号场地汤姆斯杯，中国香港队对阵阿尔及利亚队，男子双打，李静熙、杨胜才对阵阿卜杜勒拉希米、贝拉尔、阿德尔、阿梅克。
This is the challenge because the Indians are trying to do the right thing. They've got to move the shuttle around. They've got to stretch and expose the Chinese, and they're doing the right thing. But it's red, not quite good enough shot quality. Using too good a position to be able to intercept it.
They're just capable, aren't they, of just rattling off points in quick succession. Kind of look up and all of a sudden you're 4 or 5 points behind. How did that happen?
Service over.
Well, that'll help the Indians' cause.
7. Service over. 8, 4.
When you look at the rankings of the Chinese from this year, I mean, they've been so consistent. They had kind of 2 blips, as it were. Otherwise, it's winning a tournament or semi-finals.
Service over.
The only blips came
5,
all
8.
England. There was a bit of a surprise in that one where they lost in the last 16 to the Aimsad sisters, who are very, very capable pair and, you know, really good players. Brilliant shot, brilliant shot. And the biggest surprise for me was Indian Open first round. They got totally outplayed by Miura and Sakuramoto. There was 13 and 12. I think that was a match where they just didn't find their normal level. But except for that, they've been very consistent this year and shown why they are number 3 in the world. Winning the Nizia Masters and also the Malaysian Open.
Yeah, and that's a Super 1000, isn't it, the Malaysian Open? Seven titles they've won in the last 15 months.
Yeah, which is really incredible for a pair that are rising, you know. They still haven't achieved their best. There's still kind of a way for them to go, and this is why I said they are going to be a superpower for some time to come. Shot. See, her opponent was chasing her forehand.
6.
So interval comes up, 11-6. I'm not sure this is going to be on for too much longer. Lu and Tan strolling at the moment. Play.
Rally there, the Chinese just almost working on their defence, making the core big, knocking the shuttle round. Just doing a defensive exercise drill.
Singhi.
If Liu doesn't get you, Tan will.
Yeah, big power and fantastic placement from Liu. You see exactly where this smash goes. Look at that, caught in between. It's that right hip again. Is it a backhand? Is it a forehand? Fantastic placement.
Court 3, Thomas Scott. Canada versus Australia. Men's double. Victor Lai, Neil Yakura versus Wang Rain Wang.
裁判员马里奥，巴西；发球裁判员黄维娜，中国香港。
Umpire Fabio Lopez from Brazil. Service judge Victor Wang from Hong Kong, China.
14-6.
Have to see that again on the replay. Did Tan brush this off, or did it not go over? No, I was going to say that's incredibly sharp, so sharp that but no, it didn't go over.
Didn't have to play the shot.
But she had it if it had gone over.
Yeah.
Service over. 7-14.
Great interception, read it.
Service over.
I think now for the rest of this game,
7.
Chinese can kind of do whatever they want. It's just integral, they feel as good as possible for the next game. Next match that they play.
Yeah, they'll definitely have a day off tomorrow. China having, this will be their third match today, their last group game. And quarterfinals don't start till Thursday.
Everything's just good. Moving the shuttle around, they're playing the big court, then they're almost playing the no-lift style there until they get the attack, and it's the placement. Brilliant. Short lift, which makes it easier, but it's so hard for their opponents, the Indian pair, to really know what the Chinese are going to do.
Service over. 8. Return the shuttle. 8-17.
Trying to play it cross, but can't get it past the net player and just puts them in trouble. Got to get it over Liu at the net.
Well, a few of the wounds have been self-inflicted, but Singhi and Thaker will know that they've been in the presence of greatness here. Just a couple more points needed to confirm the victory for the Chinese pair. And there's one of them. So 12 match points.
Match point 8.
Umpire, Armin Mehmet from Iran. Service judge, Jiangxu from China.
Service over.
Just a miscommunication there from the Chinese.
20.
You don't see that very often, do you?
It happens to even the best players. Both thought a different shot was happening.
10-20, line judge.
They were querying something with the umpire, weren't they?
Yeah, so it didn't go over, and they were just questioning if she struck it over their side. I think the umpire was right there. I don't think there was actually a connection.
Yeah.
She went for it, but she didn't actually connect with it.
Yeah, it looked okay. That's going to delay the inevitable, to be honest. Anywhere she likes. Anywhere she likes. 21-10 in that second game. And what a fantastic two doubles pairs they've got, China, with Chen and Jia and Liu and Tan. Just half an hour to dismantle Singhi and Thaker.
Match won by China.
And with an absolute minimum of fuss.
Yeah, the difficult thing for their opposition is the next Chinese pair is number 5 in the world, Zhang Zuxian and Zheng Yu. Incredible spin on that net.
Easiest of kills to confirm the victory. Such a powerful player, Lu. So, confirmation of the scoreline. 21-9, 21-10, half an hour on court 1. We've had a 17-year-old already on court. We're going to have a 15-year-old next. That's Tanvi Sharma of India. She'll be facing Wang Ziyi in a couple of minutes. Well, a warm welcome back to Chengdu, home to around 21 million people, and it's massively important economic and commercial centre in China. River Jin flowing all the way through it. It's a sport-mad city, actually. We've got a football team in the Chinese Super League. Actually hosted matches in the Women's World Cup back in 2007, and tennis massively popular as well. We've reached the final match of this tie. Singles between Wang Ziyi and Tanvi Sharma. Fascinating to see how the youngster goes here. It's a different world, Chris, isn't it? I don't imagine there were too many 15-year-olds playing in tournaments when you were playing doubles.
Well, no, I mean, the crazy thing was when I saw the team sheet, I had to just kind of look in a bit more detail because I hadn't heard of her, and you know, my professional career was longer than she's been on planet Earth, which is, you know, she's so young, and it's going to be exciting to see, you know, the level that she can produce today.
Yeah, born in 2009, that's frightening, isn't it? Makes you feel old. Here she comes, walking in behind Wang Ziyi. And Wang Ziyi's just got to basically forget about the fact that her opponent's 15. She's got to just get on with the job. It's a ruthless business. Sport, the top level. Yeah, she's given her a little gift as well.
Red, black for you. It's red.
Receive.
Receive, okay.
Just looked a little nervous, and you can't blame her, can you? To have to come out in this auditorium facing a top 10 player in the world when you know all the fans are behind her. It could be a lonely place out there in the middle. Let's hope she gives as good an account of herself as she can.
This is the thing, most 15-year-olds will be at school right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So Wang Zhiyi ranked 8th in the world. She has been up as high as 6, and that was only just over a year ago. When she started young, she was in the national setup at 16. Wang Zhiyi won a silver at the Youth Olympics in 2018. And she had that big win just a few months ago at the Indonesia Masters. She hadn't won a tournament for a little while, not been threatened so far in the 2 matches that she's had. And she's another who was part of that Uber Cup winning team back in 2020. Tanvi Sharma, her first appearance in this tournament. She hasn't played so far. The rank is somewhere just inside the top 600. And just as Chris was saying earlier, she says PV Sindhu has been a total icon to her. She was actually part of the Asian Team Championship squad, although she didn't play. But she said just being, around Sindhu and the others was a phenomenal experience. She's been under 15 and under 17 national champion, and there you see it's her Uber Cup debut this afternoon. I mean, she's probably seen Wang Zhiyi play on television, probably only recently, and thought, never would have thought, maybe I'll be on the same court as her in a few months.
Yeah, and this is the thing, Wang, she just obviously won the Asian Championships, and very informed player, and this is, doesn't get much bigger challenge than what we're about to see.
Stéphane Venet of France is the chair umpire, and he has England's David Evans as his service judge.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, India, represented by Tanvi Sharma. And on my left, China, represented by Wang Zhiyi. China to serve. Level. Play. One, love.
Dropped in.
2, love.
A little unlucky.
3, love.
Yeah, and this really is, though, an extreme kind of baptism of fire in regards to the first time representing a nation at the senior level at 15 years old. And you're coming up against, one of the very, very best in the world.
4, love.
Going back to the article that you're speaking about in regards to, it's amazing when you hear how much admiration she has, for another member of her team. Sindhu, and how kind of just being in her presence was, you know, almost the greatest gift she could ever be given. She obviously wanted to play, but she wasn't bothered that she didn't get to play. It was just being, you know, in the presence of Sindhu was more than she could ever have asked for.
And actually, it's not a bad tactic, is it? If you've got someone who's, you know, so good but so young, you can just give them a taste of what a tournament life is like. They don't have to play.
But this is the thing, there's so much you can learn. That's not necessarily obviously being on court, but it's everything. It's being kind of around the presence of, you know, one of the best in the world and understanding what it takes. You know, the training that they do.
I think the whole routine of a tournament, you know, lasts for however long, a week or whatever.
But this is the thing, when you're this age, 15, it's very different. Seniors and juniors, there is a massive gulf, there's a massive difference, and it is brilliant that they've given her this opportunity. And, you know, I'm sure she learned so much from the Asia Team Championships that she was a part of, although she didn't play. And then getting this opportunity today, I'm sure she'll savour it forever.
Service over. 8-2. Out. 9-2. Service over.
Played that shot a couple of times very adeptly.
Perfect, just on the line.
Service over. 10-3.
It's hard. It's hard for her to even kind of get in the game at the moment.
Service over. 4-10.
So 11-4 at the mid-session interval.
Interval.
और हिलने के लिए रेडी है और जहाँ मारती है स्ट्रेट का स्टेप तेरा और वो पाइप इधर के लिए सारा कुछ फॉरवर्ड और थोड़ा सा ऊपर जब भी चांस मिलता है तेरे को तो एक बार मार ले जहाँ पे मारना है कंफर्टेबल पोजीशन पे है तो मार तो जोश में खेलना पड़ता अच्छा जोश में हर पॉइंट में सोच के
20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. 11-4. Play.
Brilliant shot, lovely control on that drop shot.
5-11.
Great bit of deception as well.
Service over. 12-5. Service over. 6-12. Service over. 13-6.
Suspect that for Sharma, it's going to feel like this is all going by in a bit of a blur. I think only after a few days, maybe when she reflects back on it.
Yeah, at the time it will almost feel like it flashed before her eyes and she couldn't almost take it in. But there's so much to learn out there. Kind of how to control your emotions, shot selection, the speed of the game. I think Wang just left that, thought it was going out, and shocked that it was so far in.
Service over.
And in her age category, in Asia, you know, she is one of the best. She got to the final of the under 15 Asian Championships. Which seems so strange talking about under 15, you know.
Yeah.
We're talking about a player that's that young.
16-7.
The big thing is there's such good exposure for her to be, you know, to be experiencing this level at this young age. It's only going to be a positive.
So just a couple of points away now. Wang from confirming this first game. (13 game points for the Chinese. Only taken 8 minutes. 21 points to 7.
First game won by China, 21-7.
Wang in cruise control.
स्टार्टिंग हो गया, एक ड्रॉप मारी, एक ऐसा ड्रॉप मारी, एक ऐसा ड्रॉप मारी, एक क्रॉस मारी, ये तीन मिक्स करते रहे. थोड़ा मिड कोट है तो नीचे रहा, ऐसे उसको क्रॉस मारने का मत. थोड़ा पीछे है थोड़ी जाके जंप ऐसा फिर क्रॉस, ये दो मिक्स करते हैं. और आगे ऐसा रेडी है और ये झटका अच्छा है ऐसा मार ऐसा ऐसे ड्रिबल ज़्यादा मत छोड़, ड्रिबल नेट से नज़दीक आना ऐसा मत छोड़, और ड्रिबल करना थोड़ा स्पिन देना चाहिए. वापस जाओ अच्छा गोल.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Second game. Level. Play. One. Love. Service over. 1-0.
Did well to stay in the rally there. Sharma, she's got to try and play herself into the game. You know, it is a big task, but first one was just a little bit too comfortable for Wang. Not really under any stress or pressure throughout the first game.
Well, it's a better start here for the teenager.
Service over. 2-3.
I like that she's got the confidence to try those kind of shots, but she's just made way too many unforced errors. That was good though.
Service over. 4-3.
Oh, what a good point.
5-3. Service over.
It's the right idea though, and this is the thing, she's got to try and take the game on.
4-5. Service over.
Brilliant net shot.
6-4.
And it's definitely a different player from the first game. Can often take, you know, a game for them to kind of feel comfortable, get used to it. Speed of the game and the difference in quality from her opponent. Drastically improved from the first game.
7-4.
Taking charge. She's the one trying to dictate now. Seen this in quite a few of the matches where we've had a big difference in the level of players or in the ranking. First game's just not quite been their level.
So Wang knew she needed to respond, and she has.
5-7.
That's on the line as well.
Yeah, absolute perfection.
6-7.
All about the accuracy there. It's just gone wide.
7-4.
Again, that's so important that she can just stop this run.
8-7.
Well played. Great point to watch.
Some of her net has been so good.
8-0.
Nice, really nice touch of the net. See this here, great spin. Seeing Wang's trying to lift it, it's feathers first. Got to either wait for it to come out of the spin.
So that arrested a run of 5 straight points for Wang.
Service over. 9-8.
Great pickup. So well, and again, incredible net, gets the short lift and then just misses it.
Was a pity from her point of view. Almost had too much time to think about it.
Service over. 9-10.
Can't believe how she's missed that.
That was good net shot though. Sharma.
Service over.
So just a 1 point lead for Wang at the mid-game break.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Wang, can you put this in the box? Yeah, thank you. On court. (11-10). Play.
Just the wrong shot selected there by Sharma. Got to go higher. She knows it.
Versus Candice Chu, Jack Yu.
裁判员亚桑、毛宇球星，发球裁判员孔明宇、中国。
Umpire, Yasan Saidai from Mauritius. Service judge,
11-12
from China.
So we've seen today China have played Chen Yufei, Han Yue, and obviously here Wang Zhiyi, the three women's singles selections. And they've obviously got Konjengbam as well. Who's going to be the three for the knockout? Of course, they can play different team for the quarters, semis, and final. You'd think Herbing Chen would probably come back.
That's one of the biggest challenges for China, picking their team.
Service over. 12-13.
Well, that's just a delightful shot.
Yeah, absolutely perfect. Incredible quality.
Service over.
I mean, the major positive thing for Sharma is the first game was quite comfortable, only 8 minutes long. The second game's obviously been a lot more competitive and much longer duration because we had a lot more rallies. Definitely competed in the second game. It's unlucky it's the right idea again. I think that's the first game I even said it. It didn't feel like the true version of her, and it can be a bit of a shock. She did look quite nervous at the start, and I don't think she quite performed to her level. Second game though, seen a totally different player.
Yeah, and she's still right in this, just a point behind now.
14-15.
Great pickup. Yeah, can't get out for the next one.
Service over.
Haven't quite mastered that skill yet.
16-14.
Just the wrong side of the line.
17-14.
Well, terrific point. And ironically, Sharma did so much right in that rally, even though she lost the point in the end. But once, not for the first time, she had Wang in a bit of trouble on occasions. Rally?
Yeah, and against players she's used to playing, she probably would have won the rally 3 times over, but she's playing against one of the best in the world. It's so hard when you lose a rally like that. You're right, she did almost 95% of what she did was really, really good.
And that's missed by a fraction as well.
19-14.
Brilliant. And this is, no matter what happens in this final bit of this second game, if she is to lose it, she should come away really proud of her performance and the way she transformed from the first game to the second, because it would have been very easy to almost get kind of swept under and swept away by, her more experienced opponent in Wang, but she's done so well, Sharma, to turn things around in this second game.
No flashlights. Thank you.
So close again, and this is the thing, she's only missing by a very small amount on a lot of these shots.
Yeah, she has missed by fractions, hasn't she?
Match point 15.
However, 5 match points for Wang Ziyi. Just the wrong side.
16-20.
That'll do it. So 21-16 in the second game. Wang Ziyi comes through comfortably enough against the 15-year-old Tanvi Sharma, who I'm sure will be pretty proud of certainly the way she played in that second game. Took maybe one game to find her feet, really.
21-16.
Crowd very appreciative. as you might imagine. Final look at the last point of the match. Confirmation of that scoreline, 21-7, 21-16, 25 minutes, the official match time. Quick recap then of what we've seen over the last 3 hours or so. Very comprehensive victory for China. We do wish Anmol Kharb the swiftest possible recovery after she had to retire. But the Indian youngsters just not really at the same level as the Chinese players, so many in the world's top 10. That just about concludes our coverage, but remember, there's more action to follow at 5 o'clock local time. China against Korea, Group A of the Thomas Cup. For now though, from me, Trevor Harris, Chris Langridge, our whole cast and crew in Chengdu, it's goodbye.